Well, here's a fun one. Does Summon 7 offer penetration testing? Do we do pen testing?
We do.
We
Yeah.
do.
So our vigilance team offers pen testing now. So we have an annual pen testing that we, I forget what we actually call it, but there's a new service that we offer as part of our vigilance. And we also do kind of small one-time engagements as well for penetration testing.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, here's a fun trivia question for everybody. Let us know in chat. Why isn't pen testing a CMMC level 2 requirement? Does anybody know? So we offer it. It's a great service. It definitely helps with security. It's a CMMC level 3 requirement, but CMMC level 3 is for quite a small number of companies. You would think such a sort of evergreen, constantly referenced security activity would be a sort of universal requirement for protecting data. Why isn't it a level 2 requirement? Jeopardy music.
Yeah,
Jeopardy
who's going to be the
music
first to answer in the comment thread here?
I won't wait for everybody to put in the chat. Let's see if everybody knows. One answer might be, well, it's not in NIST SP 800-171, and that is correct, but it isn't in CISSP parlance. Not the most correct answer. It's not in SP 800-171, so it's not verified by CMMC level 2, but it's not in SP 800-171 because it's not in the NIST SP 853 moderate baseline. And so the only things that can show up in 171 Rev 2 are the controls that are in the 853 moderate baseline. And that's if they get through the tailoring process of getting parts sliced out of them and chopped out of them, or if they make it into the CUI baseline at all. So if they're in that moderate baseline and then they're determined to be relevant to CUI confidentiality, and then the various parts of the control are determined to be relevant, then they will show up in 800-171, and then they'll be verified by CMMC. So if you want pen testing to be a requirement verified by CMMC, you can't blame CMMC. You got to go through the NIST tailoring process. So when 853 comes up for revision 6, which is crazy to say because we've been doing this for 20 years, then you have to make the case to NIST that it ought to be a moderate baseline control, and then it can filter through and show up for CMMC. So yelling at CMMC for NIST tailoring decisions is not the right place to go. I hear that people say this about pen testing all the time, but that's why.
I may be remembering this incorrectly because it's been a few minutes, but did not the .4, .7, and 1.0 versions of CMMC have pen testing as a requirement?
They sure did.
It was part of the Delta 20, if I remember correctly, right?
They sure did. The Delta 20. So if everybody remembers that, the whole idea behind CMMC 1.0 was to, quote, open the aperture of NIST SP 800-171, because as we've talked about in the past, 800-171 has holes in it on purpose, right? It has gaps in it on purpose. They tailored it to be extremely narrow for data confidentiality, not a holistic cybersecurity baseline. Now, if you have nothing, it's great. But if you're trying to optimize it for all kinds of things, DNS, email protections, pen testing.
That's what I was just about to say. Let's have a moment of silence for the Delta 20.
Yeah. Well, the irony here is that DoD unilaterally tailored controls on top of 800-171 based off what they perceived as their risk. They called it CMMC 1.0. Everybody freaked out. So then they went back and reviewed the program and decided to align it directly to the NIST revisions. And so now we're on 171 Rev 2. The irony is that a lot of the requirements that were in the Delta 20 under CMMC 1.0 are now in 171 Rev 3, which we're not verifying with CMMC because we had to pin it to 171 Rev 2. Whee! This is why I lost my hair, everybody.